Yo, Toe, what's going on, baby? We back at it again with another video, man. Like I said before, we've made it to the NBA Finals. We are here. This is it. It's the last big sporting event for a while, but in basketball and football, that is. But man, now we got to get into these Raptors. This is their first time making the finals, so we got to get into the review for the Bucks and the Raptors series. Like I told y'all before, the Bucks came into this series 4-0 on the road in the playoffs. They had not lost a playoff game on the road this year, right? So they come in, they're favorites to go to the finals. They're number one seed in the East. They just looked unbeatable, right? I told you guys they're just hard to beat. They're very hard to beat, and they were. The Raptors had to really put up a fight. They went down 2-0, but the Raptors ended up pulling this one out 4-2. They didn't lose a game after that. So let's dig into it. So we talked about the Bucks being such road warriors, no pun intended. Their lowest road score was 113 coming into the game. Their highest road score was 127. In this series, they did not win the game in Toronto. So they were 0-3. They scored 112, 102, and then 94. So they got progressively worse offensively as the series went on. And they did not win a game in Toronto because of that. Another big thing that I touched on was free throws. Y'all know how imperative free throws are to winning basketball games at any level, but especially in the NBA. So, like we said before, the Bucks attempted the most free throws coming into this game of all the teams that were in the playoffs, like this year. They are also the lowest free throw percentage of those teams. So they were shooting 73% coming into the series. How did they fare this series, you ask? That being the key. And the Raptors, like I said in the last video, if you haven't seen the last video, go catch up on that. Got some predictions that I'm about to talk about now. So the Raptors came in with the highest free throw percentage. So we have the highest free throw percentage versus the lowest free throw percentage. How do you think you want the game to go if you're the Raptors? You want to live at the free throw line. That's what we talked about. So the Raptors being last in free throw attempts, my key for them to win this series was get to the line, to make the game slow and force the Bucks into jumpers outside of the paint. They did that. Let me go ahead here. So let's go through the free throw stats here. So game one, we're going Toronto and Milwaukee overall as a team. Game one, Toronto shot 20, Milwaukee shot 27. And you'll notice that most of the time Milwaukee's gonna shoot more free throws because they're the best at getting to the line. They just do not make enough of them. So game one, Toronto shot 20, Milwaukee shot 27. Milwaukee won that game. Game two, Toronto shot 25, Milwaukee shot 35. Milwaukee won that game as well. Game three is what changed the entire series, y'all. This is the first road game. The Bucks are up 2-0, and they haven't lost a road game. They're going on the road for game three. So I'm like, this series is a wrap. I'm good. Like, I'm about to see another sweep. Not at all. So this game right here went into double overtime. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 12 points. I kid you not, he had 12 points. I'm not joking, 12. This is supposed to be the MVP of the league. This is one of the favorites to win MVP. He had 12 points in a playoff game, in a pivotal playoff game at that. You win this game, you're up 3-0. No team has ever come back from being down 3-0 in a series in NBA playoff history. It's never happened. So you win this game, you might as well say you won a series. He comes out 5 for 16, 12 points, and he fouled out in double overtime. Not only that, he had 23 rebounds, which is outstanding. I'll give him that. But Giannis did not have the ball in his hand at the end of any period. He didn't have the ball at the end of regulation. He didn't have the ball at the end of the first overtime, and he didn't really have the ball at the end of the second overtime. So I think that's a problem. They have to figure out what he likes to do, what he wants to do in the clutch, because he can't even get to the ball. And you have to credit Kawhi Leonard with that, for denying him the ball at such a good high rate. But 5 for 16 is absolutely unacceptable. No. For 12 points. Like, you gotta be kidding me, yo. And then you foul out. So you're not helping the team at all. Listen to these free throw stats.
And an air ball. Wait a minute. You can't be up for consider of MVP and get an air ball at the free throw line. I'm sorry, C-Web. He'll probably end up winning it, but you can't air ball. I hear you, Reg. Come on, man.
Game 3 really showed the gap in between the two free throw shooting teams. Between the highest free throw shooting team and the lowest free throw shooting team in terms of percentages. Leading to a win for the Raptors, their first win of the series, and they would go on to not lose any more games in the series. The next game also had identical numbers in terms of percentages. The Raptors shot 88% from the free throw line. The Bucks shot 65% from the free throw line the next game. They lost that game as well. In game 5, the Raptors shot 80%, and the Bucks shot 72% from the free throw line. So you can see, as the games went on, that Milwaukee kind of got worn down because they were having to shoot more free throws, and that wasn't their strength. As Toronto was getting to the line and making theirs, so that every time that happened, the scoreboard is getting wider and wider. But in the final game, in game 6, Toronto shot 22 free throws, Milwaukee shot 31, but Milwaukee missed 9 free throws, and they lost by 6 points. So it's always been a big part of the game, especially in the NBA, where any little thing can lose you the game. But free throws ultimately lost this team the entire series. Looking forward to. You do have to give the Raptors some credit here. Kawhi averaged 29, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 88% from the free throw line, 11 for 32 from the three-point line, which is about 34%. Wasn't huge impact in the game from there, but he always hits them when you need him. The Raptors shot 37% from the 3 line. They averaged just 32% from the 3 line, not being one of the best 3-point shooting teams. They took about 25 free throws a game. We talked about them having to get to the line. They averaged just 20 free throws a game coming into this series in the playoffs. So they did everything they needed to do. Give the Raptors a lot of credit for that. The Bucks have a lot of decisions to make. Let's just say that. Free agency for them, 2019. 4 of their 5 starters are all free agents. So we're looking at Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton has a player option, Brook Lopez, Malcolm Brogdon, Nikola Mirotic, and Pau Gasol are all free agents in 2019. In 2020, George Hill and Pat Connaughton are both free agents. We talked about how crucial they can be in the playoffs down the stretch when you need bench scoring. But yeah, that's so much for those 2 teams. Looking ahead as well to the finals, of course, starting on Thursday night. Not gonna give you guys my pick right now. I will give y'all my pick in the next video though. But there are several things at stake in the finals. There are legacies at stake, of course. You think about players like Steph, KD, Clay, Kawhi. Just players that are stars, the faces of the league. You look at Boogie's might be coming back. Some of the questions surrounding these players, I think KD has the most to lose and or gain. Of course, him being the best player on the Warriors in many people's eyes, that puts a spotlight on him. And it brings up the questions. One, if they win without KD, what is his true value to the Warriors anyway? Is he gonna come back? Is that gonna affect him coming back for another year? You also have to look, what if he plays and he loses? Then you have to kind of wonder, like, is he really hurting the Warriors, or is Kawhi better than KD? Now, if Kawhi wins, he'll be 2-1 in the finals. You also have to look at that on the other side. What if Kawhi loses? Kawhi loses, what if Kawhi loses and KD plays? At that point, Kawhi would be 1-2 in the finals, with his only 2 losses being against the 2 people that many analysts and many fans rank above him in LeBron and KD. He'll have a loss to both of them. Even though he beat LeBron once, he still has a loss to him, so it'll be 1-2. It's really kind of a win-win for Kawhi as well, because he got Toronto to the finals. They've never been there before, so he's automatically, in my eyes, he's automatically the greatest Raptor of all time. I know some people think that's like disrespect to people like Tracy McGrady, people like Chris Bosh, people like Vince Carter. Like, a lot of things can be said, but the fact of the matter is he's taken the Raptors further than they've ever been. So there's also a legacy on the line for Steph Curry. Steph Curry has 3 rings and 0 Finals MVP. Now, if he wins this Finals MVP, if they win the Finals and he gets Finals MVP, now you have to ask the question, is he finally going to be able to be mentioned among the top 5 point guards to ever play the game because of his impact, how he's really revolutionized the game. He's made people like PG call it a bad shot when other players take it. He's really changed the whole game of basketball. Another player whose legacy on the line is Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, as we all know, has lost possible money that he could have gotten because he wasn't selected to the All-NBA team, any of the All-NBA teams. He was saying he wanted a max contract and he wants to, he wants his money, basically. He deserves it too. He needs to get paid, but that really hurt his chances. But this finals, could this be his last finals as a Golden State Warrior? The spotlight is going to be on him as well. Expect for him to take more shots, similar to what he did in the Rockets series, where sometimes he would get the ball and he would just throw up a shot. And people are like, what are you doing, Klay? You don't usually do that. Another player whose legacy is on the line is Boogie Cousins, a.k.a. DeMarcus Cousins. He came to the Warriors to get a ring. When he arrived at the Warriors, he was hurt, but him being there kind of made it like automatic that they were going to win the ring. And then he got hurt again, so it's kind of like it was a waste, especially if they don't win the ring and he plays. That kind of makes it seem like he just wasted time this year. I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel like any other player really has that much to lose or gain on these finals. Kyle Lowry being in the finals for the first time. Danny Green already having a ring. Marc Gasol, shout out Marc Gasol. We still love you from Memphis, bro. It being that his first time in the finals. Serge Ibaka already, it being his second finals appearance. Those are the players with the most on the line, though. But thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for that predictions video. I will be making my pick soon. Maybe tomorrow around noon, maybe. But I will be dropping that video tomorrow. I'll make my pick and I'll tell you guys why. Thank y'all for watching. Comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Like, dislike if you want. It's your boy Jay. We out of here.
Back and lost it. Lowry with the steal. He has Giannis behind him. Gets to Leonard. He stuffs a facial by Kawhi Leonard over Giannis Antetokounmpo. Finals on TNT is being presented by Google Pixel.
Kawhi Leonard, the steal by Lowry.